Hello everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. I didn't realize how close we are to just about 2 years I've been in my car. Just over a week now, literally, a week and a day. I cleaned my car last night. I realized I don't even need that detailer spray I've been spending so much money on. I can just clean it with water and shop towels. Yeah, the windows, it takes a little more work than with Rain-X. It's slightly dirty, but I could have gone over them with another towel that was just barely damp. And the car looks good. So I don't know why I spent all this money on car detailer sprays last few months when car looks great without it. Maybe it would look 5% better with the detailer spray. The problem is in LA, there's so much dust in the air. The next morning after I clean the car, there's a layer of dust on it. So the detailer spray doesn't really affect that. And the Rain-X, it hasn't rained here in months. So I don't even need the stuff. In Virginia, it helped a ton because the water beat it up more and it would just run off the window. Anyways, been reading a lot of Carl Sagan today. It's amazing how much I see of superstitions and doomsday cults within Christianity that I didn't know about necessarily, or all the different variations on the same idea: gullibility, superstition, trying to assure ourselves of things. So I'm just calling for a complete and total shutdown of all churches until we figure out what the hell is going on. They're closed now. I'm going to keep them closed after the shutdown. We need a full audit into all their activities, and any ones that do not comply or do not pass the audit, which probably many won't, are going to be turned into Planned Parenthoods. Click like, everyone. Helps the video out, helps the cause, spread the good news, the gospel. And man, I feel like I'm fatter than ever. I don't know what it is, and yet I am starving today. Just starving. I mean, barely ate anything. Still spent too much money because I had to get stuff, but I'm still just not eating much. And I need more bottled water. I did get the Fiji water from the food bank. I would never pay for that stuff in a regular store, but it is nice tasting water, and why not? They had it at the food bank cheap. I don't even know what's wrong with this one. Yeah, it hasn't been opened. Maybe they would just, had too much of it. They had to get rid of some. I didn't get a whole lot done today. It kind of sucks because I was waiting for the dollar store open so I could get the knee pads for a film shoot I'm going to be on. But I did, thank goodness, not have to go to Staples to print out an agreement to work on a short film I'm going to work on next week. Oh, actually, I'm going to be working on that on October 31st, so I don't know if I'll be able to stream then. I might, but I might be tired. There's all kinds of stuff, especially with the Trump virus. I had to watch a training video on that. The day's basically prioritized around keeping people safe from the Trump virus. It's all very organized. Everyone's in different zones. You only move one way through the set. Each filmmaking pod, which is basically department, only goes on set at a certain time. You're not both there at the same time, and you leave the set when you don't need to be there and when the actors are on set. So it looks pretty organized, and of course it just limits things. You can only have a certain amount of actors and crew on these productions. But I discovered something really cool about my phone that I'm finally glad I got it. As opposed to just being annoyed that I had to get this phone, the LG Stylo 5. Is that what it's called again? I forget. But the fact that it has a stylus, and it has a memo pad where you can write with the stylus. I've never needed to use it before until today when I had to sign that document. Instead of driving over to Staples, and I'd have to use what's left on my laptop battery to transfer the document, download it on my phone, transfer it to the laptop, then transfer it to a flash stick, all just a hassle. I could just screenshot it and put it in the memo pad on my phone and just sign it on there. It's really cool. It looks like a real signature, except sort of digitalized, but literally with the stylus. Trying to do that with my finger, I'm sure would have been impossible or a pain in the ass. Hey, Drake. Hey, Lauren, no name. Sure, I guess. Yeah, well, Fiji water is very expensive. I'd say don't buy it. What's the point? But I got it at the food bank really cheap, so why not? It reminds me of a fish bowl or something, the plastic it's made of. Click like, everyone. It helps the video out. I finally felt it, the message deep within me. Do not question it. The churches, I closed them down for the pandemic. I'm starting to see there's real collateral benefits to keeping them closed. Less indoctrination, less brainwashing, more days slept in on Sundays. I don't sleep in, but I don't mind it when the masses do. And frankly, I think a lot of them are not good people. And also, it's just amazing what I'm reading in Demon Haunted World. All these horrible cases of Christians abusing their kids in the name of performing exorcisms, in the name of ridding them of demons, which is basically exorcisms, but in the names of other types of abuse. One guy who would, I'll just say it, I don't want to be too graphic, but badly violate a young girl and justify it by reading Bible passages to her. And meanwhile, this was going on, and the satanic panic was happening, where thousands of people, police officers, investigators, were all convinced that Satanists were ritualistically having orgies and killing babies and abusing people, abusing children. And not one instance happened. Not one. The total number of all types of ritualistic abuse was done by other people, not Satanists or devil worshippers. It was done by Christians, and I'm sure other religions. He was mainly, I think, sticking with Christians. But you can imagine other people of other religions do that. Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, but it was mainly Christians, and of course Christianity is so interwoven with so many different superstitions in America, and the sense of power, and the end of the world, and demons. Anyways, it's a mess. It's a real mess. It's a real eye-opener, that book. Carl Sagan's Demon Haunted, Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark. So I'm just putting an end to it. I'm just closing churches, and I think we're just going to go straight to turning them into Planned Parenthoods. It's really, I think it's obvious. I mean, you saw it. A lot of people, it's very interesting, you know, and these, by the way, this religion, this Christianity, it's going to go away like a miracle. It's going to go away. You watch. It's very interesting. You'll see. Oh shit, I wonder if this guy parked right across from me. He's not blasting music. It must not be the guy. His car is very unique. It looks just like a guy who blasts frickin' Motown. Not Motown, really. It's kind of like old, Motown pop charts from the 50s, 60s, like soul, sort of doo-wops. Not doo-wop, really, but yeah, I'd say Motown, actually. That's accurate. And the other day, what was he playing? Something more recent. But it's pathetic to me, because it's pathetic when someone just needs to feel good, needs to feel reinvigorated all the time. I got pleasure going through me all the time. That's the same as pleasuring yourself in front of people. Listening to music in public, just as offensive. So I'm going to deal with that next. Bergman, I'm so annoyed. Well, first of all, I've seen his stand-up, and I saw some of it. So I know it's basically the same act, and I enjoyed it, but for some reason, I thought it was 9 o'clock Pacific. I guess it was 9 o'clock Eastern time, meaning 6 p.m. Pacific. So I got on at like 6:30. I'm like, what the hell? I totally forgot. So I could have just skipped back and watched, but I saw the last 30 minutes. It was fun. It was good. Always something a little bit sad about stand-up shows, depressing. Like, you got all these people there, and I don't know, it just, nobody wants to really meet each other. I usually say hi to people at a lot of shows, and it's a mix of people are really nice, some people are really glad to meet you and excited and share stories a lot of times. Sometimes a little awkward, like, oh, what's this, what's he doing? But just kind of sad to me. I don't know. There's this sort of, what's the word? Not artificiality. I think Tim's a fantastic performer. I could see that on stage, and you get it even more in person, having seen him a few times now. But something like I don't know, like an illusion, I'd say. Like we're all here, and then it all goes away. You're all gone, and it's sad and disconnected. So movies for me. But yes, I did see it. I'm getting in my head about it, but I did love it. Watch it. It's up now on YouTube. It's free. I don't know what his plans were with it before. Was he going to sell it or something? Because it looks very well shot, and it's clearly at a it got a like a decent production, and like it was like several camera operators, and they had a whole crew doing it. So, anyways, I don't know how much those people played. Played the game. I'm looking at Drake's comment about the Dodgers. Yeah, the Fiji water doesn't fit in my cup holder. So I just got to kind of tuck it into the seat here. Click like, everyone. Helps the video out. Helps the channel out, because I'm still applying for jobs now every day. I'm looking. There's not really a whole lot more new jobs that I can apply to that aren't retail. I'm looking today. I applied to like 2 or 3, and I'm trying to find stuff I'm qualified for. I think one was a film. Yes, it was a film job, and thank goodness the application was easy. And I think 2 I applied to were warehouse jobs. Anyways, so it's getting a little tense, and I'm having to spend more money to survive and all that. And today I thought I wouldn't spend much. Well, I got Kind bars, and they just raised the price on those. Maybe they had a special before where it was $1 for each one. I should have gotten more. Now they're like $1. They said 3 for $4, or 4 for $3. No, 4 for $4. No, 3 for $4. Whatever. Didn't work out great for me price wise. And herring, they raised the price on that a little while ago, $1.39 a tin, and I'm just starving. I don't know why I feel like I gained weight in the last 5 days, but I am definitely cutting way back on calories. But I know it takes a little while to notice weight loss. Even when I was starving myself in 2013, I lost 15 pounds in a month. I didn't even realize I lost any weight until I weighed myself. So you got to keep at it. It takes a while before you can notice it. I'm covered in dust and dirt. You can see it on my pants. Let me show this. You don't even get the full picture of it. Yeah, that doesn't help. But that's like caked on there. And my shoes. Well, you can't see that. And I'm not going to bother washing these pants. I got duct tape and wood glue holding together all the holes in them, in the pockets. And it's getting kind of cold out, so it's kind of annoying being at the park trying to... It's good because I don't have to go through as much water because I'm not sweating. And it's not as uncomfortable to walk out, but even with my coat on, it's a little annoying to sit there in the cold. But today and yesterday were more cold because it was cloudy out all day. The sun basically never came out. So I know it's gonna go away more. Also, it's gonna be in the 50s overnight for like the next week at least. And the problem with that is it's better to sleep in the cold. I prefer it showering outside, so we'll see. But it's like every time I have that split second of waking up and thinking, oh man, I don't want to shower outside, it's going to be cold and unpleasant. Then I just think, oh, who cares? Just go do it, get through it, enjoy it. Just enjoy it, and then go about my day and deal with the creepers at the park. I did see a car crash today. I say crash, it was a very minor one, but I was like, oh shit, I saw it coming. Somebody parked a really nice Infiniti like G37X behind a big, looked like a very new, I think like Ford F-150 or 250 or something. Big, shiny pickup truck and a shiny Infiniti. Pickup truck driver started backing up the truck. I'm like, and it was big and high up, so I can imagine they couldn't see that Infiniti easily. And she was backing up, backing up. I'm like, I'm looking across the street, and bam, hits it right after the couple got out of the Infiniti. And so I was like, oh shit, that's unpleasant. That's awkward as hell. You gotta watch where you're going. Click like, everybody. Helps the channel survive. This is my job right now until I'm able to get a job, which is not forthcoming easily. I'm lowering the brightness of my screen so I can save battery power. I was sitting at the food bank today charging my phone, and what is it called? I always forget the name. Portable cell phone charger. That's it. Wow, so there's some old, like not muscle car, but like even before that, like 60s Buick or something, Chevy. They all look the same. Those big fishtail cars with fins, and 3 guys are admiring it by where I am. Backup cameras, I'm not so big on that. Yeah, maybe, but maybe you should have it on a raised, I don't know if the truck was raised, but it was a big truck. A truck like that, maybe you should have one. For me, when I've driven rental cars, I always find them distracting, like, because I never fully trust them. So I'm always looking back anyways. So I'm kind of fine with this. But I do want to get a dash cam. When I do get some money, I seriously want one. There are a lot of bad drivers around here. And yes, I prefer small cars. Actually, if I get another car, I would like a small Toyota Scion. I don't want to say anymore. This Camry is good. It's a great car. I have no problem driving it, really. It's comfortable. I'll probably have it for a while, as long as it lasts. I hope it lasts a long time. But really, if I had my choice, I would have gotten a Corolla or a Scion. Well, the thing is with Scions, a lot of them are hatchbacks, and they don't have a ton of room in the trunk, and I need a lot of room for all my stuff. And also, it's good to have an actual trunk because it keeps things cooler, and like I want to keep stuff in there cooler. I don't want like my electronics to get too hot in there. How many miles on the car? About 180,000. Still runs pretty much perfectly. I've only had it for the last 7,000 miles. My feet are itchy. May as well have some more vinegar. Vinegar and water helps with weight loss, supposedly, in your immune system. Where the hell's my little thermos? Oh. I can't see anything. I'm going by feel. So the churches need to stay closed. That's it. There's no way about it. They had their chance in the sun, and they completely blew it. And also, Carl Sagan wrote about, like, the Inquisitions and the witch hunts, and I think he may have gotten it wrong how many people were killed. I've heard, actually, it's like more like 10,000 people who were burned at the stake for being witches, so not the hundreds of thousands or millions. So that's smaller, but even so, still horrible. And he wrote about how one of the popes declared it in one of his bulls, that they're called like papal bulls, where the pope makes statements. And I had something funny I was thinking of saying the other day. I can't remember what, but he talked about the need to kill witches or something like that, and people went out and tried doing it, and it was horrible. And he died with his mistress by his side and children and stuff. Anyways, really funny and pathetic, and it just puts it into perspective. Like, why do we put such emphasis on this stuff, like, oh, and respect, like, oh, we don't want to interfere with people's religion, we don't want to mess with that or tear it down. I agree with freedom of religion. It has its limits. That's why the churches need to go. You can still do it privately, but that's it. But why we respect this nonsense, this cultish, chauvinistic, superstitious, apocalyptic nonsense where people are eager for the end of the world, it's pathetic. We should be. Oh, and James Randi just died. Dude, James Randi, the great skeptic. Holy crap, that's Randy's aura right now. James Randi was debunking faith healers and supposed psychics and people who had telekinetic powers. James Randi was in great shape for so long and so smart. I wish I had a mind like his. And I met him in 2014 for his film. What was the film called? Was it just The Amazing Randi? Or I forget what it was called. It was a documentary about his life. He was there with his boyfriend. And my mom was so offended at it. The reviews on I'm not trying to promote my stuff regarding his death, but my mom was there and she was offended because, the movie was atheistic and against it was pro-skepticism, against religion, Christianity in particular, and superstition. And also the fact that he's gay, she didn't like that, so she doesn't want to hear about that. Your old Baptist landlord, that's right. Welcome home. But yeah, James Randi, and in the passage I got about, now see, this is something that people would say, like, oh, this is a sign that James Randi's speaking to me. His aura, his spirit is going out into the world now. I'm reading Carl Sagan's book, and literally today I got to several pages about James Randi debunking people and running his own hoax that he eventually revealed with this guy Juan, who said he was channeling the spirit of a ghost named Carlos, and he had all kinds of special powers, and he was going to make revelations because of it, and he had lots of followers. And then James Randi revealed he actually did this to see who would fall for it, and he got an actor to do it. But it was just coincidence. That passage has been in that book. Of course, if I'm reading a book by a scientist about skepticism, it may very well bring up a skeptic, James Randi. I try not to say it affects the way I think too bad. Yeah, driver's seat pull down. I keep saying driver's seat pull down is best. I just bring it down all the way and lie back in it. Yeah, I know, it doesn't mean it's defective. It could mean the bottle was messed up, like somebody spilled something on it. That happens a lot of times. Or it was trampled, or the seal was messed with, but even if it wasn't completely broken. Or just they had too much of it, they couldn't sell it. May have been the case with the Fiji water, I don't know. Maybe they dropped it somewhere, they didn't want to sell it. I have no idea what drugs most people are using. I did see a guy cooking heroin next to me at the park, though, a few mornings ago. Vanilla Dye. Hey, Angelo. Jim said that Jim saw, that Jim said that he saw, that Jim said that he saw, that Jim saw young people, and he saw that he said they were crying. Michael Shermer is the Skeptic magazine, another big figure in Sagan Randi cap. Is Michael Shermer, what's his deal? I'm trying to think. A lot of these guys turn out to be, kind of doing some stuff they weren't supposed to be doing. I'm not casting any accusations at him. I just, never mind. So I'm not going to guess about that, but I know I've seen him in interviews, and I forget if there was some controversy or falling out or something. I don't know. Forget I said anything because I don't want to just speculate like that. Can you get a shout out for blank and blank? Now, see, this is how religions form. People start creating myths. They start having requests. Please, Angelo, heal me. Please give me favor. Touch Bring your touch on me and cure me of my cold, of my depression. And before you know it, people are saying, oh, they were touched by an Angelo, and they were bestowed with his special properties. So should I do this? I don't know. Everybody let me know. Should I give a shout out to this guy who's just demanding it? Like it's, I should give it away so easily? Oh, why people believe weird things? Cool. I should check that out at some point. Give it, all right. God damn it, I'll give it a shout out. God damn it. I'll give a shout out to Vanilla Dye's friends. I shouted them out. There. Okay, you happy with that? I shouted them out. Alright? I mean, I don't even know these people. For all I know, they're a bunch of I won't say they're extortionists in the mafia. Rachel and Lawrence. Okay, I shouted them out. Ooh, there goes that big old fishtail car. Yeah, I'll shout them out in hell. How about that? Now do you want to tell them the message? I shouted them out in hell. Oh, I shouted with my hand over the microphone. Whatever. Maybe take that as a sign. '59 Cadillac. It's got a massive... How do you even maintain a car like that? Because you can't bring it to most mechanics, right? They won't have the parts for it. Do they make the parts somewhere? Do you just special order them? Do you not drive the car a lot? I guess it's not a daily driver, right? Click like, everyone. It helps the video survive and the channel survive, because I am in deep shit if I don't get a job soon, and this is my job right now. It will help a little that I'll be working on this film. It's free. It's a short film, but it's close by, and as always, they have free food on set. That, for me, is a huge deal. And there's always the possibility that I'll be able to work with someone else and get more jobs from that. I always try and ask everyone I work with, for their contact info, so we can refer each other to jobs, or ask each other if they'll come work on something for the next project. Parts cost a lot of money. And does Cadillac even make them, or is it like a third-party company? Because they're no longer OEM parts, original equipment manufacturer. They're just somebody who makes them for hobbyists or enthusiasts like that. Because I take it that's not going to be the car you drive to commute every day. Do I need money? Well, yes, I need money. I'm not trying to beg for it, but I do make some money on YouTube, and that's pretty much it right now. I was lucky with some film work last month. Last month actually, September. And now I'm in a lull, and it's all a bit difficult, and I'm applying to all these jobs, and Indeed said for one of the jobs I applied to that I'd be kind of interested in, they said on average this employer replies in 8 days. So things like that just means I got to apply to a lot of stuff. I don't know when I'm going to hear back. 8 days from now I'm going to be out a lot more money. And anyways, yeah, we all need more money. Well, like I say, there's no God. Now that's not a scientific assertion. A scientific assertion would be there's no evidence for a God. I have no reason to suppose one. So I lack belief in one. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm just going to assert it. There's no God. I can't prove it. I can't be sure of that. What I can be relatively assured of is there's no evidence for a God, so I have no reason to believe in one. And all the supposed evidence for gods has been born out of our superstitions and fears and need to flatter ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, the whole universe was created for us, and oh, I hate that person because they're a witch and they have demonic powers. Yeah, Stephen Hawking was pretty smart. I got his book, A Brief History of Time. Is that what it was called? And I never read it. It's back at my mom's house. Should have read it. Got several books like that. Just never made time to read. Okay, I gotta drink this vitamin vinegar. Got this from the food bank too. It's good shit. Virtues of vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar with the veil of mother. Made with the veil of mother. It's like the protein floating around here. Stephen Hawking was good. Amazing he survived as long as he did, right? Because he was given a diagnosis or prognosis he might live he wouldn't live long at all. And he managed to live to like 73 or something. Incredible. And still have a sharp mind with that terrible disease. Click like, everyone. We got 10 people in here. We should have at least 14 likes because some of those people left and then more joined. And they clicked like earlier. But just click like, keep the channel going. Keep me surviving. Don't help me don't not die. No, wait. Don't not, double negative. Does it die? Yeah. So don't help me don't not die. And click like. There you go. You got 2 more. Come on. You were being a little shy, weren't you? You didn't want to be singled out. Like, oh, I don't want everyone to look at me liking the video, showing how much I appreciate Angelo for entertaining me. I don't want to be singled out at school. I don't want to be made fun of. Yeah, survive. Tropic Thunder, that's right. No, don't help me don't not die. If I said don't help me not die, that would mean help me die. To not die is to stay alive. And if I say don't help me stay alive, then I'm saying help me die. But I'm saying don't help me don't not die. Don't not die, it sounds like, I wasn't trying to make fun of an accent there. It almost sounded like donut something, don't not die, whatever. Song lyric or something, I don't know. Don't not die. Well, that wasn't too bad, that vinegar. Every day is going by so quickly. It was annoying today. Like I said, I wanted to wait for the dollar store to open. I got the cheap knee pads, $2 each. At another dollar store, they had them with plastic shields for the knees, but those were $7 each. I'm like, oh crap, I can't buy that. Went to the other dollar store where they're just foam, and I got cinnamon there. Oh, I should have cinnamon in my up here so I remember to use it in my oatmeal. Cinnamon, I got rice that is already cooked and I can just heat up in my back window, although today it was too cold, I couldn't do it. And the sun wasn't out. And I got hot sauce. Knee pads I need for the film shoot because a lot of times you have to crawl to get stuff. So it's a real hassle when you're down on your kneecaps. And I'm the smartest guy there because now I'm getting $2 knee pads. And they're just like foam. They're not even, there's no plastic guard on them. So I'm sure they kind of break sooner than maybe other knee pads, but so what? No way I'm making a ton on that. And also, instead of getting a filmmaker's, like a vest from a film company that costs like $75 or something, to hold all your gear, I got a sporting goods. I got a fisherman's vest from Dick's Sporting Goods in New Jersey, like 6 years ago for like $15, and I got that when I was on a trip to fashion shoot. I used to do fashion videography. Thank you, Alejandro. Yes, click like everyone to help me don't not die. No, wait. To help me don't not stay alive. Yeah, to help me don't not stay alive. Potatoes and rice, yep. Potatoes are good. Hey, chicken shad. I don't know what chicharrones are. What are they? Sounds like a dessert. If so, I don't mess with dessert. Click like every. Now we got 15 people in here. That's what I thought. I knew it was some junk food. No, I don't eat pork rinds. Click like everyone. Now we got 15 people in here. So it only makes sense from a scientific perspective to get to 15 likes. If we get 15 likes, I'm going to show you my Godzilla shirt. Fair deal? Come on, you all seem like people like Godzilla. Shin Godzilla. It's almost 8 o'clock now. Time for bed soon. That was annoying. Now I had to restart the stream. It didn't restart automatically. I see the guys pushing carts, and oh my goodness, it is nothing but sugary food and potato chips and Doritos. But what are those things? They look like they're like pink, almost like wagon wheels inside of bags. I can't tell if they're sugar or if they're like dehydrated meat. I think they're sugar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They're almost like gummies in a way, like oranges. They're on the Mexican carts that guys push around, and they have bells that ring. And maybe sometimes they'll have cold stuff too, like ice cream. But it looks like pure sugar. Like it is the most unappetizing thing to me. Hey Jen Jet. Yeah, I had to restart the stream. Where am I? Where are any of us? I'm in my car in Los Angeles. I'm trying to don't not stay alive by making streams, making money, and applying for work. I applied to 2 or 3 jobs today. 3, I'm pretty sure. But it takes a while for anyone to get back. Now I've gotten like 3 rejections from jobs. If I get to 15 likes, I'll show you all my Godzilla shirt. But somebody out there is being too stubborn. They don't want to get singled out. They don't want to think, oh, I don't want to be the first one to click like and show I like Angelo. So you're being scared. You're being a little scaredy cat, and you won't get other people to do it. And I need the reason I ask for likes again, it's YouTube's algorithm favors videos with more interaction, more likes, all that stuff. That's all. For me, I don't care. It does nothing. If YouTube didn't count that in, I wouldn't care at all. Hello, Color Sock. Yes, happy Friday. Hey, Felmine Gravetaker. I don't know about bias. Should he speak out against it? I don't know. He's got a lot of stuff he needs to speak out against. Bergman, where do you live that you're applying for a job? We only have 12 likes. What the hell, man? Do you all want to see a Godzilla shirt or not? You're making me do this. You're making me get violent. You're choosing to make me do this. Come on. Ugh, I feel so fat. keep at the weight loss. I swear I feel like I gained 15 pounds in the last week, even though I lost 20 pounds. I mean, I lost 20 pounds and then I don't know what I weigh now, so I feel like I probably gained some. But back on the wagon, back to losing weight. Yeah, I've heard of Wild Wild Country, and then I saw half of the documentary Now parody of it, which was just amazing. It was hilarious. It's going to be a shame working on the film, actually. I'm not sure how many, this film I'm working on coming up, a short film, I'm not sure how many people I can actually interact with, because even though we're all going to be wearing masks and face shields, we all have to be social distance as much as possible. They say don't even face each other. If you have to pick up equipment, stand shoulder to shoulder. And you're all moving in a set path. So whatever department I'm in as a production assistant, I don't know what department technically that counts of, because usually that's just its own thing that does whatever, but there's art department, there's camera, there's grips and electrics. Normally, anyways, in each department, they'll have their own zones to set up everything, their equipment, and lay out all the stuff and tools they need. And they'll be basically moving through the set one at a time to dress the set to get what they need. So it's like art department all goes at the same time. And then they'll go out, and then grips and electric go in, go out. Maybe the director will come in, producer, whatever. So I don't know if I'll even be able to interact with people outside my own department. Normally I like to do that and just meet many people as I can and get everyone's contact info. So kind of a shame, but it also makes sense. Totally makes sense, because it would be really disastrous if someone got sick. I got a gig, but it's not paid. However, I still really want to do it. It's close by. Although I do have to drive a ways out to get the Trump virus test beforehand. I got to get tested 2 days before the shoot. So that is unfortunate, a bit of gas to go there. And I get free food on set, so that's really great for me. I'm still going to try and eat well. I've thought about signing up for medical trials, but I haven't seen anything I haven't seen anything that I qualify for. Stuff like, whatever, do you have high blood pressure? Are you pregnant? Things like that. And there was nothing that I applied for. That I qualified for. I've heard of some of the Trump virus tests, but those are very limited. I'd be interested in attempting a trial. I don't know. I'd want to be cleared medically to be sure it's a good idea for me. But I've heard they're very limited, only a few people involved, so I don't know whether that's possible. But maybe I should look into it and see for sure. Yep, it will feel good to be working. Hey, Rent Strike. There were a bunch of tenants out in Oakland, I think, today, in California, who are out protesting their landlord, who's threatening to raise their rent like $200 a month, and the landlords aren't budging. And so everybody's out protesting there, which is great, and the landlords are bully assholes. So that's a tense situation. That's a tough one. I hope those tenants win. Fuck those landlords. Yeah, it definitely feels good to be working. It's good that I'm keeping busy. I'm writing, I'm reading a lot, I'm exercising every morning. Definitely getting up early makes a huge difference. Sometimes I want to get up even earlier, like 4 a.m., but I don't know. The problem is there's not a lot of stuff open that I need to get to when I get up that early. But I get up at 4:30 every day. Usually I'm up showering by around 5 or so. I kind of lazy, lie around for a little bit. And what was I thinking? I write, I read, I try and stay busy, but even so, it's a little bit of a drag. That and the fact that I'm going broke. I nap sometimes. Yeah. So lately I'll just nap at a park bench. And I might only do it for 15 or 20 minutes, but I feel better. I know about cinematography. I'm not knowledgeable enough to be a cinematographer. However, I don't think that takes a whole lot of training. In a way, yes, there are people who go through a lot of training, but as far as mastering the equipment, Orson Welles said it takes a day to learn. And a lot of it is pretty much that simple. Like I'll start the day occasionally when I've worked in a camera department, not knowing what lights we're using, and by the end of the day, I know how to use them and set them up and break them down and put gels in front of them or scrims or whoever. I don't exactly meditate, but I think I've kind of worked ideas of stress management into everything I do. I'm not sure I've ever read Cinefex magazine. I don't know. We don't have 15 likes, so I'm not going to show that Godzilla shirt unless we get 15 likes. This is pathetic. And I've gotten to the point where I'm just not eating breakfast until after I work out, which is good. Minimize the window where I'm eating throughout the day and don't eat unnecessarily. Thank you. Who the hell? I can't read. What the? Break the loop? I was going to say break the foop. Thank you for clicking like. I've used 48 gigabytes of data this month. If I get. Oh shit, if I go over 50 before November 8th, then I'll still have unlimited data, but I'll have reduced speeds in areas where there's network congestion. Oh man, that's the problem of live streaming so much without Wi-Fi. Because I run up my data, even for unlimited data, it may slow down. And now it's going to be slow for like 2 weeks if I don't stop live streaming right now. But I'm still going to do it for the people out there a little bit. I'll go to sleep anyways. Well, and the thing is, I have unlimited data, and it's still unlimited, but like I just got the text message notification from T-Mobile that says it will be throttled if I'm in areas with congestion. Like I won't be prioritized. Yeah. Let's get the 5G going. I wish I didn't need to sleep so much. I'm better about it. Now I'm sleeping about 7.5 hours a night, and that's plenty for me. I don't know why I couldn't manage before this, where I was getting 10 hours a night and still taking 30-minute naps in the afternoon. But 7 or 8 hours is good for me, and I feel plenty rested. But even so, it's just never enough time during the day. Just never enough. I'm always trying to do more, always trying to do more reading, more writing. I'm so hungry right now, but I don't think I'll eat tonight. Eating all the lasagna. Cops haven't bothered me yet in LA. Yeah, McDonald's has Wi-Fi in the parking lot, but come on, that's not that reliable. I've tried it before. It'll go in and out. It's not a good idea. Halo. Halo, easy. You got no business calling Rent Strike a stupid name. It's a great name, great message. You can't use the McDonald's bathrooms now. Yeah, I've done it before. It's always uncomfortable, especially the toilets are filthy. Have I eaten? I haven't eaten tonight? No. I had basically around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I had a little bowl of rice, the kind that's pre-cooked. I got from the dollar store. I saw they had those. And I'm so hungry tonight. I had a second Kind bar, a 160 calorie Kind bar with almonds and raisins because I was so hungry and my stomach still hurts from hunger. But I don't think I'll eat tonight. I think I'll just, because I want to lose weight. I don't know how. I've been cutting calories all week and it's like I have 40 more pounds of fat on me. Baklava worth the sugar intake, and don't do it often. Do it rarely. Well, that's the other thing about McDonald's is the bathrooms are all closed. There are certain restaurants that do still have the bathrooms open. Yoshinoya, I think that's the name. It's a Japanese place. They only got a few meals, but they're good. I used to stop by there somewhat regularly towards the beginning of the shutdown, and their bathroom is still open. Jack in the Box bathroom is closed. I'm trying to think where else. I'm not sure. Grocery store, that's still open. I only see 11 likes. I don't know if there's more likes. If I get 15, I'll show the Godzilla shirt. Until then, you all seriously fucked up. So, work it out amongst yourselves. What do you mean Halo, walk me through that. What do you mean by how about you all work to get a house instead of protesting like criminals? Walk me through what that means. If you can explain that, hey, I'd be glad to say I'm wrong on rent strikes and that landlords are predatory and that the whole system's predatory and that they raise prices on, they raise rents totally at their own whim, and that landlords together with developers and politicians conspire to make housing more expensive so that they make more money. Walk me through that. If you can show me what that actually means other than just a platitude of I fucking hate poor people, I'd be interested in hearing it. Yeah, debt's hard to avoid. Do you like poke bowls? I don't know what a poke bowl is. Yeah, what jobs? I've been applying to jobs for weeks now. Well, like 2 weeks. Yep, click the like button unless you unless you already clicked like. Halo Mellow. I'm trying to give you a platform to speak. I'm trying to engage you. You're just giving platitudes of I don't like poor people. I get it. I used to be a conservative too. You say, y'all just want to get free housing. Walk me through what the problem would be with free housing. So, free homelessness is good, but not free housing? What is the dilemma? I don't understand. Why don't you want people housed? Life don't work that way doesn't make sense because, as we all know, we can change that. There are some people who get free housing, so you can't say life don't work that way. There are people who get housing vouchers, they stay with family members, so that's not the case. My Greek ortho. What the? What? Where'd you get this info? No, I'm not. I'm an atheist. Please respect my lack of faith. And click like everyone. I don't know how many likes we got. Somebody said we got 12, I guess. I only see 11. Halo Mellow's completely failing. I don't know, this bozo, this bimbo the clown, just tapped out. Go stay go stay with mommy. Whatever, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Angelo didn't understand it when I said I want people to be homeless. Why can't I? He doesn't want people to have housing. Okay, yeah, I know. Rent strike 20, right? All 2020. All the same. Everyone smash the like. Thank you, SoCal. Okay, I see 12 likes now. If we get to 15, I'll show the shirt. I guess everybody here just hates Godzilla. Bunch of weirdos. You like the fictional character God, don't like the fictional character who's highly entertaining and doesn't take part in people's bunch of scams and abuse and child abuse. Godzilla. Godzilla's much better than God, but why don't you support Godzilla? I don't understand. 13 likes. Oh, more questions, more personal questions. Did I ever watch competitive sports? Yeah. Yeah, once or twice. Yeah, I saw one of them. Yeah, I saw bowling on ESPN. Yeah, I saw tennis once. It was depressing. Yeah. I don't talk about my past. It's mysterious. My ways are mysterious. All Elite Wrestling. I will say I did used to really enjoy WWF and WCW. But at a certain point when I was a teenager, it was a phase. I just lost interest in it. I know who Joey Janela is through TJ and Friends, TJ Brown Jr. through his videos and sharing of stuff about him. I don't know much about him, but I did see something about him, like a documentary, I think, about Joey Janela. Thank you, Alejandro. What I don't like when wrestling changed to me was it seemed like when I was younger, there used to be good guys and bad guys. And I used to cheer for the good guys and oppose the bad guys. And after a while, it seemed like it all just became everybody's a bad guy. Everybody's out for themselves and against each other. To me, you lost the psychology of it when you didn't have the good guys versus bad guys. It just was not as fun. And it made it hard for me to keep interest in it. But when I was a kid, I did like the Ultimate Warrior, Razor Ramon. I wasn't a big Hulk Hogan fan. I wasn't really a fan of his at all. I didn't hate him. I just wasn't into him. But Ultimate Warrior, Lex Luger, Scott Steiner. What was the other guy Scott Steiner was with? Rick Steiner. I got his autograph when I was younger. Is that what it is? Wrestling fans should ask old fans why they stopped watching? Yeah, Borat 2 is disappointing. Well, I want to see it. I want to see what it's about. I saw the Giuliani scene. Gross as hell. This guy's such a fucking creep. How comfortable he was getting in bed with that woman. I mean, with that woman right by him. That too. Vince McMahon is from what I understand about how his contracts work and how he tries to cut into as much money as possible of his wrestlers, a scumbag, a greedy, greedy scumbag. There we go. Somebody else says Borat 2 was awesome. So, fair and balanced. Make up your own minds, everyone. Yeah, can't tell who's a bad guy or not. Yeah, and that was my problem. Yeah, Vince practices are exploitative, illegal. I heard he wanted to take some of the money that WWE wrestlers were making on Twitch, like they're live streaming on Twitch, doing whatever, I guess. Talking, playing video games, playing music. And he wanted to make money off that, saying, well, this is from in their capacity as a wrestler or something. Anyways, yeah, it's horrible. And of course, there's such pressure on them to perform. And he seems like just a horrible, greedy scumbag who is just the classic, basically sweatshop owner. I see 14 likes. Got to get 15 likes in here. UFC does the same independent contractor BS. I can imagine that. But back to my point. Yeah, they don't own their names. I got it. Yeah, so they can't do any other shows. Back to my point. What was my point? Oh, I just didn't like how it was no longer good guys and bad guys. It wasn't fun for me. It's like there's no, remember I got the pay-per-view of, what was it, SummerSlam? When Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had the Iron Man match for like an hour. And I still don't understand quite how that worked, but it was devastating because I loved Bret Hart. I'm like, no, he can't. It was so psychologically taxing and wore on me to see Shawn Michaels. He did like 2 super kicks of him and then pinned him. That was wild. And I loved the Royal Rumbles back when they would have a bunch of the wrestlers in the ring. Oh, that was so much fun. And oh, the other thing, when I was younger, it was more exciting whenever they got weapons out, because it was so like a forbidden fruit. Like, oh my goodness, he's bringing out a chair. They would rarely do that, and they would rarely. They It was always like a special treat when they would do little stuff to cheat. Run outside the ring and uh, and use the belt buckles in a certain way they're not supposed to, and mess with the ref, always distracting the ref, and the ref is so dumb he doesn't even notice what's going on behind him. Like, oh, the wrestler's friend got a chair and smacked the guy over the head, and then he turns around, oh, I gotta count the pin, like do the pin count, 1, 2, 3, that kind of stuff was fun. Even though I was always mad that the ref was turned around. I'm sure the Onion has done some article about that, like the neurological injuries on WWE refs make them unable to focus on the match or something. But stuff like that, it was a special treat. It seemed like after a while, it was just always anything goes. There's always a weapon. There wasn't the psychology of how they'd start the match with like the test of strength and go back and forth, you know? Also, the thing that kind of sucked too when I was younger, and they had WWF Raw and WCW Nitro on Mondays, was a lot of times, like, they were no-name wrestlers for the most part wrestling, and at the end of the show you may get someone, a really big name that you wanted to see, like The Undertaker or Owen Hart. Is The Undertaker still wrestling, by the way? That guy's like over 50 years old. Ric Flair, he was old even back then when I was watching as a kid. So many others, a whole bunch of them. And it was kind of always sad, it's like, oh man, you want to see a big match, you want to see an exciting storyline, but when you got it, it was super exciting. After a while, it was just anything goes, everybody can get a weapon at any time, they can pull a bat, they can pull a chair out from under the ring, they can take the padding off the belt buckle, Yokozuna, Bam Bam Bigelow, all these names are coming back to me now, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Triple X. I remember when Triple H wasn't just Triple H, he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And he always came out as this like 18th century aristocrat who had like harpsichord music playing. Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course. So many others. Diamond Dallas Page. Yeah, it's not fun when it's like there's not the psychology of the fighting. Yeah, I'd be so tired after 5 minutes, I'd have to super kick myself. Yeah, it used to mean something when people cheat in wrestling. Now, the thing I was saying, I wasn't sure how this works. Okay, obviously, the fighting itself may not be real in wrestling. They're not really trying to punch each other right in the face. But and I know the activity is real. So yes, they really are jumping. They really do injure themselves and all that. And they wear themselves out. And they got to work out hard and look huge. And they often wrestle while they have injuries. But what I don't get in the Iron Man match, since it's not like a real fight, I hate saying it's not a real fight because I know it's incredible athleticism involved. I could not do that for an hour. You try doing heavy activity with another person for 10 minutes, you'll be exhausted. You saw a girl accidentally get KO'd in a match from a kick in the face? Yeah, that's freaky when that happens. Or when somebody gets cut open and they're bleeding. Or they get serious. Rick Steiner, I remember he got in that British Bulldog, that chokehold, and jumped off and he broke his neck and he had to take a long time and multiple surgeries to recover. But what was I thinking? In the Iron Man match, basically what I'm asking is, how did Bret Hart really lose? Is it because he decided, oh, okay, Shawn Michaels isn't going to let me win even though I was supposed to? Like, how did he really lose? Was he just finally tapped out? He was exhausted? That was an amazing match, and it was so upsetting and disappointing to see him lose, and I know he took it very hard, but even to this day, I don't quite understand the mechanics involved. They didn't know what to do. They just rolled her out of the ring. Yeah, that's scary, and I got to think the other wrestler, like, they want to play along, like, oh, good, I knocked him out, but they don't really want to hurt him. Anyways, yeah, I just don't quite get it. How, like, how did Bret Hart really lose to Shawn Michaels? Because it wasn't like he really beat him up to. I mean, I know he was getting beat up in a real way, in that it's just an exhausting activity. He's throwing himself around, getting thrown off the ropes and the buckles and jumping and getting hit, even though it's not full on like a UFC fight hit. But, anyways. Because he takes being a hero personally and he hates Shawn. Well, yeah, I always hated Shawn Michaels too. And my asshole brother always liked him. So that's how I also knew my brother was no good growing up. But even so, with all that, and I remember Shawn Michaels had so many injuries too. He was always having back problems, and they're saying he shouldn't wrestle. And then I know he came back a while after I stopped wrestling. But yeah, I just don't quite understand the mechanics of, like, well, how did he really lose? I'm just wondering, like, did he decide, was Shawn Michaels, like, telling him, like, look, you got to take the loss on this, or what? And also, I don't know, I'm sure if I was a wrestler, I could understand it. Apparently, he would fake injuries whenever they'd want him to lose the belt. Oh, wow. But here's the other thing I'm not unclear about, and it's kind of weird, but okay, it's not true fighting. I hate saying that because I know it's a very, very strenuous, real activity that is fighting in a way, but it's theatrical fighting. You know, it's okay. It's not how you'd really punch someone. They always slam their foot on the ground and make the big noise from the mat bouncing. But my point is, why did Bret Hart take it so hard that he didn't win the championship title? Because how do you get the championship title? Isn't it worked out ahead of time? And I know, obviously, if you have the championship title, you're a bigger star, so you're a bigger performer. You get to do the big shows and all that. So in that way, I do get it. It makes sense. And Bret Hart was like my favorite wrestler. But I can't quite comprehend, like, I don't know. I guess you'd have to understand and be in it and be in the mindset. And I know he's talked about how hard his family worked and he worked, and his dad was so hard on him before, early in his life, so that when he was a wrestler, it was a very strenuous thing. Wait, what's Chicken Chad saying? It was definitely booked backstage before the match. Shows did their job, though, to give you that sliver of doubt. Right. So wouldn't it have been, was it just like a business disagreement? Like he didn't like how maybe Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels said he had to lose that match? I don't quite follow it all. And I can see at the end just being exhausted and not being able to, get Shawn Michaels off him for the final pin. YouTube Dark Side of the Ring, Montreal Screwjob. That's a great name. Goes into that whole thing with Bret losing the belt to Shawn and his mental space. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll check that out. Oh, my allergies are acting up. Because again, it's just I'm curious. Why would he be so bothered by it when it's not like in an NFL match like the Super Bowl? Remember Tennessee Titans? They should have won one year, didn't they? Shouldn't they have they? I forget what team they were playing, but it's like a player on the other team was running and got a touchdown, but his knee scraped the ground, and the refs didn't call it. I sounded Irish there or something. They didn't call it, and that would have changed the whole game. It's not like that where you could say, oh, the ref made a bad call, and they're actually competing. So I don't quite follow the psychology of it. Like, why was he so bothered about not getting the championship belt? Other than it's just I guess it is in a way like a promotion and losing a major promotion. So I guess I do get it, because it's like you're the top of the league. You get probably more press, more action figure sales, more all that stuff. Although Vince McMahon probably takes all the money. You get the challengers. You get to be the center of the drama in the WWF. Oh, he was scripted to win? Okay, so Kevin, this is interesting. So he was scripted to win. That's kind of what my understanding was. They double-crossed him and set him up. How? How did they do that? Just by Shawn Michaels refusing to lose the match, and Bret Michaels kind of like knew, like, oh crap, like he's not going to let me pin him? Like what exactly were the mechanics of that match that made Shawn Michaels win when it's supposed to be this this dance, this very tough physical dance, but it's supposed to be basically choreographed, is what I'm saying. Obviously, the wrestlers, they practice their moves, they work out what kind of show they want to do. Probably shouldn't have bothered Brett like that. Okay, well, that's good to know too. It was a quick count by the ref, and I seem to remember Shawn Michaels tried to pin him twice, right? And the first time, Bret Hart kicked out of it, and then he tried to pin him again. I don't know. It's so much fun to talk about wrestling, but I can't watch it anymore because I don't have TV. But it's interesting to me. I like the aspect of these are like these big Greek gods or something that are competing for us in this huge spectacle. And I did go to 2 wrestling events when I was younger. Starrcade, I think, and I can't remember the other one. They used the ref to cheat him out of the win, and the title belt. Well, that I could see why he'd be bothered. Pay $20 a month for track phone. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I already have to pay all these devices off with T-Mobile, but yeah, it would be kind of nice to have a cheaper phone at some point. Also, T-Mobile has good coverage around here, so. Okay, well, yeah, now that makes more sense too. It probably cost them millions. Endorsements, that was the word I was trying to think of when I said action figures. Yeah, endorsements. Okay, that does make sense. The ref wondering the bell as if he. Wait, what? It's a typo. Then the ref was ringing. Oh, the ref rang the bell as if he tapped out, but he never tapped out. Wow, okay. So I can see that. I can see why I'd be really bothered by that. It's a disrespect to him. So it was like an underhanded business move. Yeah, right. Hey, we got 14 likes. If we get 15, I don't know, maybe my offer's up. Maybe you all squandered it for the Godzilla shirt. We should have like 22 likes now because all these people joined and leave and join and leave and some click like. So, should have more likes. 15 likes, there we go. Why the hell did I put my shoes so far? You want to be a wrestling manager? Yeah, there were so many cool wrestlers when I was younger. Jim Hacksaw Duggan was like one I kind of liked, but he was kind of before my time. Hello, Terry. Mr. Perfect. Oh, the Sergeant Slaughter, whatever. What are the Slaughter twins? The Rock was still like early on when I was just kind of losing interest in wrestling. Back when he was called what, like Rocky Maivia or something? Would come back to the chat. Was that a landlord we were talking to? The guy who said, you all just want free housing. I swear, people don't question their own assumptions. Like, what's wrong with that? Why is it like housing comes from on high, landlords are on high, we may not question them as if they're handed down like the 10 Commandments and follow them or suffer hell? Why? He doesn't think how gullible he sounds. Usually guys who talk like that. When he talks like that, didn't think about that. He says, you all want free housing. Well, why is housing so expensive? He didn't explain any of that. I asked for him to walk me through it. How do you know he was a landlord? Did he say that? I missed that. No, I don't care. I have no patience for chuds. They deserve it. Oh, okay, you all want the Godzilla. Somebody's even typing out the Godzilla music. The theme. Alright, let's see if I can find it in my sack. Nope. There's nothing on this shirt. Oh, here, I'll do a magic trick. Look. As you can see, there's nothing on the black shirt. But through the power of magic, I will make Godzilla appear. Let's see, I just fold this up. It's real simple. And just kind of toss it around in the bag. And if you all click like, maybe we'll get Godzilla on this thing. Okay, as you saw, there was nothing on the shirt. And then, no, nothing on it. I guess you won't be seeing this. Look, total magic. I gotta get the sleeves out. Magic, it messes with the sleeves for some reason. Magicians know that. You guys wouldn't understand. It smells a little like moisturizer. Oh, that's my hands. My skin on the back of my hands has been peeling off. There you go. Play the Godzilla theme if you have a browser open on your computer, and you can open another tab. Yeah, I know, that's the bootlicker mentality, is I'll be a millionaire too someday. So I want to revere landlords now, so eventually I'll get that exhilaration of being one. But how do you know he's a landlord, though? Oh, he said he wouldn't rent out his, buildings to you. But does that mean he's a landlord? I thought that it's just, it's like an expression. I just assumed he was saying it like his judgment, his condescension. Then he punked out. Archaeologists, they like bones and ancient civilizations. That's true, Vincencio. That's very wise. Yeah, I didn't assume he was being a landlord at all. It's almost like saying, well, I wouldn't let my kids near you, even though I don't have kids. Uh-oh. Some guy's gonna hit... Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna hit somebody riding a bike. So there's Godzilla's shirt, and look, just like that, I'm gonna make Godzilla go away. So now you see him. I'm gonna toss him back in my sack. Root around in there a little bit. Where'd he go? He's gone. Unbelievable. Oh, here's my Carl Sagan book. Left it back there. Godzilla returned back into the volcano. Donna, you had a real 45-minute delay with that apology. That's all right. I didn't take it too hard. It just no, I'm definitely not Greek Orthodox. It's so even after reading Carl Sagan today, it's so much more obviously a human-made cult, religion, series of superstitions that are constantly shifting and changing. And it's just there to reassure everybody that they're very important, they're worthy of love, they're special, the universe is made for us. Oh, it's so sad somebody died. Well, we'll be back with them someday. It's so obvious. Even my mom, I don't know, depending on the time of day, it seems like she believes totally different things. There were times, I swear, it sounded like she was very much understanding of the idea of agnosticism and atheism. When I say times, I don't mean long stretches of time. Just like a certain day I would explain to her something I learned about science or evolution or something, and I'd say how, it leads to the conclusion that these religious beliefs are false and these religious dogmas are false, and she's like, well, maybe, And other times she'll talk about how she believes in Greek gods or all these other superstitions, so she believes whatever on the day. Cool, sure, I guess you ended up seeing the Don't Be a Sucker video. And it's actually pretty good. A lot of that older propaganda crap is horrible. That one, it's actually decent. It's about don't fall for fascism, for racism, for bigotry. It's pretty good. Reza Aslan's God of Human History. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be kind of interested in that. Oh, another book I forgot. I never made, not forgot. I just never bothered reading, but I ordered it from Karen Armstrong, called A History of God. I think that's what it's called. And she goes into like a 5,000 year history or so of the different iterations of God, and how the God of the Old Testament was not, even in the Old Testament as it is, it's not the same God throughout. It's obviously like many gods. He even says, "You shall not have other gods before me," as if acknowledging there are other gods. And then it becomes one God, a monotheistic religion in the Old Testament, and then how in the New Testament different things change, and with the conception of God. So, anyways, I never bothered reading that, and I think it's still at my mom's house too. And Bart Ehrman's good. I've read Misquoting Jesus, that's a good one. And I've been listening to some of his stuff on how lately he's been doing a lot of talks on how heaven and hell were totally invented later, like well after Jesus was supposedly around. So they were kind of almost like medieval inventions, because people in the church realized, oh, we need more justification for what we believe in. Well, you're going to be punished if you don't believe this stuff, and you'll be rewarded if you do. But the reward is certain one thing, and the punishment is another. And the descriptions of the punishments vary so much, and supposedly people have visions of of hell and all that. It's so odd when you line it up with every other superstitious belief people have, and how closely they guard them. It it becomes pretty obvious. It's all fake. Well, you know what? It's 8:35. I actually am a little tired. I'm trying to get to sleep early. Um, I'm going. Yeah, read Carl Sagan, A Demon Haunted World. It's a really good book, and very informative and kind of fun too. And it's basically about overcoming superstition. Yeah, I'm trying to sleep because I'm getting up early every day, and I wore myself out taking a dump on the porta potty. So I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the Godzilla shirt. Carl Sagan was a scientist. He was an astronomer, I believe. He wrote the book Contact, which the movie was based on, with Jodie Foster, JFO, so I like to call her. Job hunting, it's just going. I mean, I'm just applying to more jobs. Got like 3 rejections so far. So, got to keep going. I really need to make money, though. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.